All right, guys, last exercise. Finally, exercise 4. We are going to do a shape tween morph. This one's pretty easy. It's kind of fun. You get some wacky results. I don't know that you're going to use this a whole lot, but it's good for scene transitions. It's kind of like a neat little effect. If you want to throw it into your animation, it might be fun. So, action script 3. All right, we've got our stage. The first thing that I want you to do for this, the main objective actually of this is to show you the function of the shape tween, what it can do, and how you can kind of morph and manipulate objects from one thing into another, into another, into another. Um, this could be good if you were doing some sort of like walk cycle or having legs move back and forth, something like that. But we're going to use it in a little bit more wacky way here. So the first thing that I do want you to do is I want you to draw something. It doesn't matter what you're going to do. How much time you spend on it is really up to you. I'd like it to be something a little bit more than just one of your preformed shapes. If it's a design, so be it. I've had people in the past paint and do stuff across their whole screen for this. You can do that, but if you do that, whenever you do render this video and you export it, it's probably going to chug and act really slow and jerky, and it probably won't actually play at 24 frames a second. So try to keep your objects relatively simple. Keep them small. If you didn't do a cat face for the second exercise, maybe you do a cat face. For me, I'm going to start out with, I will do a bird face or something. Okay. All right. Okay, so I got my nice bird here. All right. I'm not using any extra colors. That's just because I'm trying to keep things simple here. So, if you want to, by all means, you can get as fancy with this as you want. You can get as not fancy with this as you want. Alright, so I got a bird, some kind here, okay? Happy little bird. Alright, what I want to do with this bird is I want to show it for a couple of frames. I'm going to move it down. I want it to be nice and centered here in the middle of my stage. But I want to show it for a couple of frames so it doesn't look like, doesn't give me the effect that I'm having like a seizure or that I'm like seeing ghost images or something like that. So we do want to make sure that it stays unaltered, unchanged for a handful of frames. Excuse me, I had to cough there. So I'm going to jump over 5 frames. Going to insert a new keyframe again. That's going to copy all my frames over. I can scrub back and forth. Bird is unchanged for 5 frames. At this point, I'm going to jump up to 10. And I'm going to insert another keyframe. But in this 10th keyframe, if my bird is highlighted, that's great. If it's not highlighted, highlight your bird, delete it, or whatever it is that you drew. All right? Get rid of it. You're going to put a new object in this keyframe. Specifically, at some point in your metamorphosis, you need to include text. So I'm going to show you how to make the text metamorphose. Metamorphose? I don't know. All right, we're going to make it morph. So I'm going to draw a text box. I'm going to write my name. Okay. If I want to adjust that, I can adjust it a little bit like that. Move things around. As you can see in the properties window, my characteristics have now changed for the text box. So if you want to adjust your size, you can do that here. You can type it in. You can adjust your spacing. Your font is right here. You can try out different fonts. Styles, so bold, italic, all that stuff, and your color. All right. If you've already written something and you're clicking these things and you're wondering why it's not working, you gotta go back, you gotta highlight it. All right. So actually, I'm gonna pick a dark blue. Okay. So there we go. Got my name. It's in dark blue. I went back to my selection tool. Again, I'm going to center this up, put it right in the middle. Now, what we need to do to this is we need to make it not a text box. We gotta turn it back into a sprite. In order to do that, we're gonna break it apart. So you can right click, or Mac people, you can control click, break apart, which is control B if you want to do shortcuts. And what this does, the initial break apart, is it separates your letters, which that could be kind of convenient. You could, potentially do some neat stuff, moving letters around. You could have like letters bounce around your screen in another application. But in the one that we're doing right now, we want to have all of our letters highlighted again, and I want to break it apart again. And this second break apart is going to turn it into a sprite. So you can see it's got the white dot selection. It doesn't have boxes around it. We are back in a sprite. So if we go back to our other object that we had before, it should look similar. It should have the white dot selection around it. All right, so you got your name, got your bird. All right, I'm going to make this bird magically turn into my name by right-clicking, Mac people control click, in the tween space, and I'm going to make it a shape tween. All right, and it'll probably turn into a big pile of weirdness, but that's okay. If you scrub all the way back to the beginning, you hit play, you're actually going to see that morph happen. All right. If it doesn't make a whole lot of sense just yet, I'm going to jump ahead 5 frames, insert a keyframe. All right, and that copied that last keyframe, which was my name untouched. All right, so we copied that. Now if we hit play, it looks a little bit more solid. You got a bird, now it's a name. All right, from here, again, I would insert 5 more keyframes. And let's see, so my name is static for these 5. So that means on this one, we're going to stay, but this one's we're going to delete my name again. We're going to draw something else. So I'm going to go pick the pens. Nah, I'm going to stay with the brush. Going to pick this, and I'm going to draw some sort of porcupine critter. All right. I don't know what this critter is. Might be a hedgehog, might be a porcupine, might be a nose with some hair on top and little appendages. I don't really know. Gonna give him some eyes to help define that. Maybe a nose. Okay. Try to make it look a little bit more porcupine-y. All right. Doesn't really matter. Looks ridiculous. All right. Like I said, doesn't matter what it is exactly. I want to select the whole thing again. I am going to make sure he's nice and centered in the middle of my stage. He is a sprite, so I don't have to do any kind of conversions. I can just go back to the tween, create a shape tween, and we should be good. So you're just going to continue a pattern like this. 5 frames that are manipulated, 5 frames that are solid, 5 frames are manipulated, 5 frames that are solid. Okay. We're going to do this for about 140 frames. Okay. So if you're having any problems, any issues, anything like that, let me know. Otherwise, you can show me what you have whenever you are finished. I'll come check you out. I'll give you a thumbs up, thumbs down, let you know if you need to fix anything. But whenever you are done, you can go ahead and advance onto the storyboard. Okay? Cool.